What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Two Knicks Chicks. We're going to dive into today's episodes. I'm your girl, Lady and the Chef, joined by my mom.
Diva 21, welcome.
How you doing today?
Again, every time it's a loss, you know, I'm like, eh, you're sad, but there are better days ahead. So again, this is just one loss, another game with the loss. Uh, there's brighter days ahead for us.
I hope so. I hope so.
It is.
That game, the Knicks played against the Milwaukee Bucks in the first game of the in-season tournament. That this is the first year that the NBA has started this, and no one has a clue what's going on. We're all just here for the tournament, and we don't even know what's going on.
And the
So,
pretty floors and the new
right,
uniforms.
yeah, that I'm not. I don't know. The uniforms are okay to me. The whole different court floors also is something else that they're doing this year. Kind of reminds you of like international ball, how they'll have their courts looking real funky and spunky. But let's dive into the Knicks, into that game against Milwaukee. For you, do you feel like that was a good game by the Knicks? Or was that a game that, you know, the Knicks
um,
played
it was
poorly?
the first 3 quarters. It was subpar, and it was like that fourth quarter, a la Knicks. They turned it on. They had a great defensive effort in the fourth quarter, but you had 3 other quarters to do that.
Yeah.
Like you waited until the last quarter to bring on that effort. I mean, but and it's kind of not. Yeah, it's disappointing that they lost, but they didn't. I guess lose by much. And again, that fourth quarter they just came alive. Kudos to my man Brunson. He's back. That's all I can say. But I'm not disappointed. I wish we would have lost, and we had a chance to um win it. But again, it's not a one man game.
Yeah. And I, I
What's your
think
thoughts on it?
I think that was the problem, that that game was carried by Brunson itself. I thought Brunson, like how he had to do against Miami last year in the playoffs, he did everything in his power to try to get the Knicks that win, but we didn't have any help from any other guys on the team. Especially, with Randle. I thought Randle had a great first half. But Randle only finished with 16 points. And to me, that's not enough. It's not going to cut it when you have RJ out of the game.
Yeah,
Um, I thought Brunson played a solid 4 quarters, and I thought Randall faded away in that third and fourth quarter. He gave us a few key buckets in the fourth, but again, it wasn't enough. Where I think if Randall would have given us maybe 25 to 30
yeah,
points, it would have brought us over the edge. And I really think that would have made a difference. But for me, I felt like, again, Brunson, once again, as from the start of the season, he didn't have any help. I noticed players like DiVincenzo. Why are you trying to go posterize
but
against Giannis and Brooke Lopez?
yeah,
Why? Is that your game? You know what I mean? Like, as a coach, I would have pulled him out so quickly, because I would have been like, yo, what's the matter with you?
yeah,
Why are you going and trying to do that? Play your game. Shoot those three balls that we need you to make.
yeah,
And he was going and trying to do that. And Mitchell Robinson didn't have a point.
yeah,
So I'm very surprised at how Mitchell Robinson didn't score one basket. Is I'm flabbergasted at that
yeah. He was
when
0
looking
for
at the
4.
stats.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
0 for
trying to
4.
figure out, how did that happen? So that makes me ask you, did the Knicks not feed Mitch the ball enough? Did we not give him any alley oops enough? Like, How did Mitch not score any points?
Yeah, because he can, he can give you that lob and that, off the dunk, he didn't get, like you say, he didn't have any points and he was 0 for 4. So you wondered, they kind of, I guess, got away from, Mitch for the most part. I understand you got Giannis and Lopez, the bigs down there, but still, Mitch he can hold his own.
Yeah.
That's not an issue with Mitch. So that's something that, again, when you have these losses, it gives you a chance to, watch film, and we're gonna meet with them again, meet up with them again. So, and you gotta, okay, let's see how we can, get Mitch involved, because again, he can hold his own against them. So that's
But
a,
why do you think that Mitch wasn't getting any touches? Do you think that because some fans will say Brunson was they a lot of you got a good amount of fans, and I don't know if these are like Jalen Brunson haters, but they'll say Brunson hogs the ball. But they got to realize sometimes Brunson has no other option. He's trying to keep the team in the game. Or do you think it was one of those things where like Brunson quickly wasn't feeding Mitch the ball? Or was it that they were just trying to create to keep points on the board and keep us in the game? Why do you think they weren't feeding Mitch the ball?
I think it's the latter of the two, because Brunson, well, one, Randall got a lot of touches. So the offense, not that Mitch is he's part of the offense, but Randall got the bulk of those touches. And with him struggling, sometimes as the point guard, you want to feed your big man, and maybe he'll, come out of that slump, give him those touches for whatever reason. Um, you know, and then on the flip, Brunson, sometimes he has to take the game over. If if other guys are struggling, and then it's like you also got to feel like I got to make up for the absence of RJ, because he's a big, part of that nucleus. He plays a major part in it. So you kind of, I don't think he was hogging the ball. I just thought that he just figured, let me just take this game into my hand, carry the team on my back, and let us get this W. Um, he put a great, defensive effort in. So I don't think it was hogging the ball, you know.
Do you think they gave the possessions, or rather, they fed Randall the ball more because Randall's been in a slump, and maybe by feeding him the ball, it would give him that confidence to go ahead and um, get his shooting in and get his confidence up? Do you think that's why we went more with Randall, or so much more giving Randall the ball versus moving the ball around, shooting, and then trying to, or driving and then trying to feed Mitch the ball?
Yeah, I think so, because again, Mitch is not so much as, an offensive threat. He gets his touches, and where they throw, if they lob it to him, throw it to him, he gets a rebound and he's able to put it back in. Um, I guess it just, for whatever reason, again, they got away from, because Mitch could give us 8 points. Um, you know, I don't know. He could give us some points. So I
Yeah.
think it was, I guess, just Randall got a lot of touches, and then Grimes sort of came out of that little funk. He
Yeah.
gave us, what was true. He gave us, some points. I mean, it was a nice performance, a decent performance. It wasn't great, but it was decent.
Yeah.
And
Grimes had 17 points, two
yeah,
assists,
you
and
know,
4 rebounds.
yeah. So I mean, that helped. Um, but I think, a lot of this predicate with Randall. And as I said in our last one, until he figures it out, we only gonna go but so far. Until Randall can figure it out. What's the hold back, and is it confidence, the surgery, get out your head. Until he figures that out, we only gonna go but so far. Because he's like RJ, he's a big part of this nucleus and his team.
I agree, but then at the same time, I'm looking at these stats. Julius Randle finished with He played 39 minutes, dropped 16 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists. So he had a double-double. Josh Hart played 36 minutes, had 10 rebounds, 5 assists, 6 points. Mitchell Robinson played 29 points, only had gave us 15 rebounds. Jalen Brunson, I mean, he's that guy. He played 42 minutes, had 45 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists. Quentin Grimes played 34 minutes, had 17 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. Emmanuel Quickly played 22 minutes, had 14 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 assist. And then DiVincenzo and Isaiah Hartenstein both played 18 minutes. DiVincenzo only had 3 points. Isaiah Hartenstein had 4 points, 3 rebounds. But the difference that I'm looking at comparing, the Knicks only had 4 guys in double figures in points, whereas
Mhm.
the Bucks had 6 guys in double figures with Giannis, Middleton, Lopez, Damian Lillard, who had 30. Giannis had 22. And then they had Jay Crowder with 14 points. Excuse me. And Bootchamp,
Yeah.
Marjon Bootchamp had 13 points as well.
Well, and then also you got to fact our bench didn't show up. So, that's a production that, was missing.
I don't
Um,
think the Knicks really have a bench. No, let's be
yeah,
honest. I don't really think the Knicks truly have a bench because here's my issue going back to why I was reading off the stats. I know you have a guy like Josh Hart. Josh Hart is not known for his prominent scoring, but sometimes to me, Josh Hart needs to, if he can give us between that 12 to 16 a game, that would be nice. 12, 14 points a game, that would be nice. I think 4 to 6 points is not going to cut it.
oh, for sure.
It's not going to cut it. RJ being out, again, like we talked about in last episode, you need those other guys to step up. Grimes, yeah, you gave us 17 tonight, but that's where I need a little bit more from maybe DiVincenzo, Josh Hart, even Hartenstein. If Mitch ain't scoring no points, we need you to put up a couple more points too. You should have gave
Yeah,
us about 8 to 10 points last night.
filling
So
that
I
hole.
just think that right to fill that hole that's missing, and I just think that that's where you see where a guy like RJ is valuable to the team because RJ is not afraid to drive and create that contact. And, of course, Jalen Brunson, they don't put any respect on his name. The man, he probably got lumps and bumps all over the back of his head today because they was just hitting his head. And he kept
Yeah,
saying to the ref, yo, he was like, come on,
yeah.
man. He's like, call the foul, and I don't think that that was a game where necessarily the refs was in favor of Milwaukee. But I just think that
No,
that's one of those games that it was evenly played, evenly called, refereed. But I think that the Knicks don't have that bench where some teams can have certain guys come off the bench and they can give you those points that are needed. The Knicks don't
yeah,
have that. I'm calling a spade a spade. Who else are you going to bring in off that bench that you can, with confidence, say he can come in and he can give us 14, 16 on any given night? We don't have
yeah.
that.
We don't. We're like a one and done. Well,
Just the starting
Mitch.
five.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Mitch give us, the rebounds, but he doesn't play a full solid 42 minutes, so 48 minutes. He don't do that. Um, you know, we're like a one and done. You shoot it, and I saw a lot of times they came up, and it was so much individual play. Move the ball. We could say to and pound it and say, move the ball. That's how ball movement. That's how you're gonna win. Let everybody get a touch. And there was so many times, they were down to the wire where they were forced to shoot it. You
Yeah,
know.
the shot clock was going down and they were like
Yeah.
barely getting the shot off. But you know what I think causes that too? It's the lack of ball movement. But I
Yeah.
think it's also what I noticed too is that, and again, I wish these things would get addressed early before we get deeper into the season. And it's again, this is not me picking on him, but because you're one of those guys that we're looking at who's supposed to be the leader, You know how when Randle gets the ball sometimes and he's trying to dribble or he's doing a little dribble or back and forth and then it
Yeah.
gets sloppy and he loses the handle and now
Mhm.
he's trying to recoup the ball. Now the ball
Mhm.
is low by his ankles. He's trying to grab the ball. Now he has the ball. He's trying to make a pass and now the defense is crowding him. So now either someone tips it out his hand and now they're going down the other end for an easy basket or he throws a
Mhm.
silly pass that someone on a Knicks team can't catch. And
Yeah,
I
yeah.
noticed that a few times last night where Randall does that, and it costs us possessions when you have those sloppy, you got to have a better grip of your ball handling skills. I'm not
For
asking
sure.
you to be fancy, but if you're gonna, do a little quick crossover, you gotta make sure that's right and tight so that when you get into the basket, you're not losing that handle, and I don't know, I just thought that that was a few times where it cost us possessions, the lack of ball. And then I thought, again, I'm still upset with DiVincenzo because I don't know what the hell he was doing last night.
Oh, for sure.
I saw him do that like twice. He was like trying to posterize for what? Keep it simple to win
Yeah.
the game.
Know your role and play it.
Right.
Know your role and play
Right.
it. You know, and back to Randall, he played kind of selfish yesterday, and his shot selection was very poor.
Yeah.
I
Agreed.
mean, he,
I feel like he's making the game harder for himself with some of the possessions he has when he gets the ball. Like Randall could play bully ball well, where he's gonna dribble it down and he's gonna pound it out and he's hitting that man's chest and he's gonna keep backing his way and have his way and then he'll fade off and shoot the fade away.
yeah,
He can do that, but sometimes again, and I keep drawing back to the drawing board of Randall's game is exposed where he has to learn, and it's not just him; it's a couple of guys on the Knicks. They have to learn how to get to the ball one on one against their man. And I think there's a lot of players on the Knicks, minus Quickly. I'll even say minus RJ and minus Brunson, who they do not know how to put the ball on the floor and dribble past their man and get their
yeah,
shot that they want.
yep. And
That's a problem.
yeah, it's like they can't create their own shot. If they not like being like set up, just like and I see a lot with Dame's running, he's able to get that shot off.
Yep.
I don't see a lot of that with the
Chris
Knicks. I'm like,
Middleton could get his own shot. Giannis could get his own shot. Brooke Lopez, if he wants to, he's gonna back down. He's not gonna allow you to make him where if he's backing you down to get his basket that he wants, he can do that fadeaway also. But he's also not gonna settle and allow you just to
yeah,
make him throw it out. And if he does throw it out, they're gonna throw it right back to him so he can
hmm
create his own shot down low or his own post move down low. I
yeah.
saw Mitch get the ball. He got the ball right down low. Mitch threw it right back out to the 3-point line. And that speaking of the 3-point line, what really hurt us was the 3-point, the perimeter defense.
Oh man, we couldn't defend that three if our life depended on it. Man, woo, we did you see the stats?
Yeah,
26%.
yeah, yeah,
26. I would say as long as they chucking up them threes, I'm gonna say in every podcast, you live by the three, you wanna
you
die
gotta
by the
do it
three.
right. Yeah.
You gotta change it up. And I don't, what makes them think that they're a 3-point threat? They're not. The Knicks are not no a 3-point
Three
threat.
point. Yeah, they're
And
not.
teams just let them have it because
They know
again,
they're not gonna make it.
yep, Milwaukee 51%, half of your free throws, and so
Yeah, I think part of the problem too on the defensive end when the Knicks are guarding the perimeter shooting, the Knicks leave way too much space when they're guarding their man's one on one.
yeah,
So now the offense is not necessarily doing anything spectacular to create the spacing to shoot the three, but the Knicks players, and this is all of them, they take maybe that one little step back, and now they have to reach forward like their Victor Wembanyama and their wingspan is long enough that they could block the shot. You can't do that.
Yeah,
because
so
now that spacing that's left, you giving that guy, and trust me, true shooters practice this where they're with a trainer. Knicks players, listen up, they're with an actual trainer, and these are the fundamentals. They're practicing with a hand in their face so that they can shoot those shots. That's what true
yeah.
shooters do. Or
Mhm.
sometimes they take those little long, the paddleboard sticks and they put it in their face. So you should be
Mhm.
able to shoot over those.
Yeah,
But when
yeah.
you leave a player enough space, they're going to be able to create and make that shot. And what I noticed with the Knicks, I'm not even seeing guys where they take that 1-2 dribble, maybe a little forward, and they able to come back and shoot. They're not even doing that. But it's that we're falling for the most simplest moves and we're not moving our feet. I feel like there's not enough space. And then when we're playing against certain teams and they have these key players like your Giannis last night, Dame and Brooke Lopez, why are you not denying them the ball? Put a little bit more effort on the defense. Don't even let them get that many touches. Make them earn getting the ball.
Yeah, even in the first quarter, Mitch did you know, he had to stop with Giannis, like put a body on him and force him to take those tough shots because Giannis was struggling.
Yeah, he
You know,
was.
he didn't have that breakout game that he,
Mm-mm.
is used to. You got to put a body on him, and I think they got away from that. With Giannis because Mitch was holding him. He
No, he
held him on.
was. He
So
was.
how do you and why did you get away from that? So
Him
again,
and Hartenstein, because I felt like
yeah,
Brooke Lopez started to come in the game, and I at one point I was watching Hartenstein and I said, well, why are you leaving Brooke Lopez with so much space? And Hartenstein and Mitch, for the love of God, they always come up for the help defense, and the player just dumps the ball off to that guy right near under the basket. And I'm like, you gotta stop doing that. We keep
yeah,
doing this every game, and I'm like, I get that you're coming up to help, but it's a recipe for disaster.
it is.
It's an easy bucket every time, and I saw that happen a few times last night. And these past what 5 games the Knicks have played, or however many games the Knicks have played
This
so
is six.
far.
We're 2-4, right?
I
Yeah,
think
two and
with
four.
yeah,
Yep.
you can't do that. And that's the problem. That tells you that the Knicks are not a good team. And I remember saying as I was watching, I said the Knicks are just not a great team defensively.
No.
Defensively, we are, as Queen would say, we are a hot mess. A mess.
We are, and you wonder where we went wrong and again, it's early this season, but as I mentioned to you yesterday, that the Knicks was last season they was second best in offense. They had the second best offense last year,
Mhm.
and again, it's still young, but you're not gonna get nowhere near that at that rate that you're shooting. So, like, what happened? These are things that, you know, they have to figure out.
And fast because,
Yeah,
the field goal percentage, the Knicks was at 39%, Milwaukee was at 42. Three-pointers, the Knicks was at 25%. Like you said, Milwaukee was at 51. That's inexcusable.
exactly.
That's like the free throw percentage. The Knicks was at 76%. Milwaukee was at 71. The Knicks had 56 total rebounds. Milwaukee had 41. We had 16 offensive rebounds. Milwaukee had 7. The Knicks had 40 defensive rebounds. Milwaukee had 34. We had 18 assists. They had 24. They had 10 blocks and we only had 1.
Yeah, and that's a problem.
Huge problem. Huge problem.
Yep,
We the steals were even at 6 apiece. They had 14 turnovers. We had 10. Uh, Points in the paint. The Knicks had 42. They had 28. And in personal fouls, we had 22. They had 16. So the Knicks did well as far as points in the paint, which is surprising to me. Um, the blocks is a problem, and part of that was because you had guys like DiVincenzo trying to posterize guys, so you contributed to some of those blocks that they had.
You
And
say
the
he
assists,
contributed.
18, they had 24. Defensive rebounds, we have 40, so we did good there. Offensive rebounds, we had 16, they had 7. So the Knicks out rebounded them also, but where they really hurt themselves, believe it or not, was that 3 point
Yeah,
and then just the lack of general shooting. The Knicks are not a good shooting team. I don't know what is it going to take for the Knicks to be able to start making down shots, but they're not a good shooting team. And the 3 point shots, I really think the Knicks, until they learn how to properly move the ball, stop going for the three. And I need guys to start taking the ball in the paint more.
yeah, for sure. Yep, that's key. It's vital. When one man go down, then guess what? Somebody else got to, not just one guy, a la Brunson, but Hart.
Yeah, it has to be more than
You,
just Brunson.
yeah, you were put in that starting role 2 games, both times, and you have yet to come through.
You can't keep saying you're tired. It has to
Yeah,
be something else besides you being
we're gonna
tired.
need more production from you.
Agreed.
Plain and simple. But and people can say what they want about RJ. His production is missed. I mean, when you look at, oh well, I think that he's key. He makes a difference on that court. And it makes you wonder, well, had he been in, yeah, you gotta spread the ball, but RJ can also create his own shot. He's gonna get in there and pound the ball. So it makes you wonder what would that outcome had it been had he played. You know, you're muted.
I had the local train going by.
Mm,
The Knicks, we are suffering because we don't have true prime shooters.
for sure.
Because if we had shooters on the team, the Knicks would be a lot better.
Oh yeah,
We would be a lot more of a threat. We don't have shooters. We don't have good defense. I thought in the fourth quarter, Dane came alive and started shooting those threes.
yeah, yeah. He
And
did.
again, kudos to Brunson for really fighting to keep us in that game. And, for the Knicks to only lose by 5, I have to give it to them because they didn't get blown out. But for the most part, I thought the Knicks had control throughout this game, last night's game. But we needed somebody else to step up. And again, this is where I say you can't rely on the three because if we had someone driving, we could have stopped the clock, got on the
Yeah,
free throw line, and made those free throws. But we
for
don't
sure.
have that with the Knicks. So I don't know what is it gonna take for the Knicks to really not be a horrible team. And to be able to because we play on Monday. Is Monday's game the in season tournament also?
No, the next game that they play is let me just look
They
at
play
my
Monday
schedule.
against the Clippers and they play Wednesday against the Spurs.
The next in season game is with Miami on Friday, November 20 something. I can't see that. 24th. And then they play,
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see it.
yeah, then
Oh
they play
no, it's actually against Washington the 17th on
Oh
Friday.
yeah, 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 yeah. I see that. Yeah.
So you
My
got to
early
take that
spot.
one. And then you
Yeah.
really need to take Miami. And then honestly, the Knicks still win those next 3 wins. You got Washington, who is not good.
Yeah,
Miami,
they're
who they
struggling
won their yeah, they're struggling. Miami won their first
in
in
season.
season tournament. Right. And then you
Mhm.
got Charlotte, who you should be able
Yep.
to beat.
Yeah. You
So if
know,
you can take those 3, you'll be okay.
yeah, and the thing about it, these games count towards
Regular
your
season.
record. So this is not like something that's set aside.
Right.
This goes towards your record. So that's you keep that in mind, you know,
Yeah.
and make it count because they do.
Yeah.
It's not no, oh, well, just no, just for a prize and a book and a trophy and money.
Right.
Mm-mm,
Right.
Nah, it don't
Yeah.
work like that.
Yeah,
So
they didn't set it aside, like you said, to make it be like, "Oh, okay, well, this is just a separate." No,
yeah,
this counts for just so the Knicks are just gonna have to bring it. We need other guys to step up. Hopefully, we can get RJ back very soon because the Knicks are gonna need him. I need other guys to step up. I need Grimes to also come with this consistency of giving us a good amount of points a game too.
yeah, yeah,
We're gonna need that. We can't have Grimes only giving us, 6 points, 8 points. You got to give us at least 14, 16 a night, at
yeah,
least.
for sure. It'd be nice if your production even 20. I'm just being honest. 17, or be consistent.
Yeah,
If you
within
gave
that
us 17
range.
yesterday, okay, now what you gonna do come Monday?
Right.
That's the next game, right? Isn't that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Monday
So
against the
be
Clippers.
consistent.
And that's going to be a good game because the Clippers now have Harden. You got Russell Westbrook on there, Kawhi, Paul George. That's a good
Yeah,
team. So the Knicks are going to have to come with the energy. It's going to be a high energy running game, and you got to be able to contend. And I think that's going to be crucial for the Knicks. So I'm just curious to see what the Knicks actually do moving forward. And I also would like to see Randle step it up and to show that he can give us more than 16 points a night,
oh for
which we
sure.
know he can, but so far we
Yeah,
haven't seen that.
we know he got it in him, but again, he's struggling and he got to get out that funk.
Yeah, I think it's also he just got to play better too.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
don't think it's just, a funk. I think it's just the way he's playing and the playmaking that he's doing for himself. He's making it harder for himself
Yeah,
to make those baskets because come on, these teams haven't been playing no, smothering defense against Randall. No
yeah,
one's like, where they're like, oh my gosh, she couldn't even get a touch. That's not the case. And if anything, we still know how to manage to give Randall the ball. But I think
yeah.
it's going to take the other guys collectively to step up and help
Hmm.
Brunson out. Because Brunson,
Yeah,
he can give you 50, 45, 50 points, but it may not be enough if you have those other guys who are not contributing. Mitchell Robinson, also, we're going to need you to score. We know you can rebound,
yeah,
but you have to give us those easy baskets are crucial. Those are needed.
yeah. Oh for 4, and I don't think he got enough touches, but that's
Yes,
something they'll
see.
look at. There's something they'll look at and and correct going forward. Definitely for Monday's game. You know.
So what are the keys for Monday's game for the Knicks to win?
Well, definitely defense. I'm gonna always stress that. And like you always say, the perimeter, shooting, like watch things like that. And every, Harden, he says he's willing to take a step back, and you got to realize he's not the focal point, but he can shoot the three. He's great with the assist. So sometimes he don't have to score. He sets guys up. He led the league last year, so you know, he's gonna be crafty. But again, just move your feet. Defense is number one key, and move the ball. I think everybody get a touch. And don't force it. Watch your shot selection. You know, um, that's what I have for now.
Yeah, I agree with those. I think they're definitely gonna have to the Knicks are gonna have to contend on the defensive end,
Yeah,
contend the threes. I think we're gonna have to continue to rebound and move the ball around. I don't think the ISO is gonna have to work. And I think just we're gonna need other guys to come to the forefront and come to the floor besides just Brunson, because that's not gonna work. So
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think we just need offense. I mean, we need that when dire need better ball movement, better shot selection. I mean, to compete and win. I mean, that's what we're lacking. It may seem hard, but you know, defensively, we need stops. That's key. Not trade baskets,
Yeah, for
with
sure, not trading baskets.
yeah, because the more games we lose, the harder it is to crawl out that hole, and that road is gonna narrow, and then the task just becomes so all the more daunting for us to climb to fifth, sixth, fourth seed. If you continue to play like that, you don't want to be the eighth seed. Come look at,
Yeah,
or looking out from well, I wish that could have been us. You know, Again, it's still young and figure it out. You know,
yeah,
so
yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing if the Knicks make some adjustments.
no,
Um,
yeah, for sure.
and just hoping that other guys could step up. Yeah, Josh Hart, Sia Grimes. I think that that's gonna be a big key. We need other guys to score. We need other guys to
Yeah,
defend and rebound, but definitely more so in the scoring. We don't have enough guys scoring for the Knicks, and it's just it's showing. It's showing for us on our end. So we'll see what happens. I'll definitely be tuned in. I'll be looking out for some news on RJ to see when he's coming back because the Knicks need RJ at this rate.
yeah, we
You need
do.
another guy who's a threat because right now you're not getting it from Randle. You getting steady. I feel like Quickly's for the most part being steady.
Hmm.
Grimes, we still are waiting to see if there's going to be a consistency
Yeah,
going on from his
yeah,
end.
the jury's still out with Grimes.
Yeah,
One game is just, it's not a
right.
determining factor.
Exactly. So we don't know with that. So, but this is what I'm saying. I think, we had a comment and one of our subscribers was saying how the Knicks front office didn't address, the needs of what we needed for the team. And I agree. I think that the Knicks didn't really make any moves, maybe because they thought, well, who we have is working. But in reality, minus a few guys, it's not. You don't really have a strong squad. You don't
You
have a
know,
solid bench. You don't have a solid center who's more multi-dimensional besides just somebody who could rebound.
yeah,
Come on, it's 2023. We're about to be 2024. You have a lot of bigs in the league who can do more for you to besides just a rebound. Look at Giannis.
yeah,
Look at Victor Wembanyama.
yeah.
Look at Embiid.
That's how.
These guys could shoot the three. They could post up. You gotta give your game has to be there. It's not back in the day where guys were just known for a quick little hook shot and rebounding.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? The league is a different kind of league now.
yeah,
And I
yeah.
just think that, also someone commented and said, we're waiting for Randall to get over his hormonal issues. So
Oh
I don't
wow.
know. I don't know if Randall need a mitol, if he, yeah, I don't know what it is, but something else is going on besides the game of basketball. And I'm not sure what it is. You would think the dude is on a chopping block to being traded, but
Yeah,
I just think that right now, unfortunately, we have to work with what we have. But I think that after this season, it's crucial that Leon Rose in the front office makes some changes because
oh for
this
sure.
cannot stay the way it is. This is not it. It's not it. And then you're going to have players like Brunson who's not going to be happy. And it goes back to I remember me and you had this conversation like a few years ago, and you were saying this is why players don't want to come to the Knicks because it's almost like
Exactly.
a curse on their career when they come here. You could be great, but somehow the team and who they put together on a New York Knicks organization is not good. And I also think it's also the coaching. It's the coaching style that doesn't make it good because Miami's a case in point. Eric Spoelstra is a great coach. And they didn't have the greatest group of guys or these superstars, but somehow they had a great coaching and a great mantra to help them get past
Yep.
each level and get past each game. And that really shows who you are as a team. And I don't think the Knicks have that exactly with those guys who can, yes, the Knicks are scrappy and we could crawl back and fight back in games, but can you get the W?
Yeah.
Can you get the win at the end of the night is what matters.
That's what matters.
So I think that these are things that, we'll be talking about more throughout the season in the front office and what changes. And as we get closer to the end of the season, we'll be looking out or, seeing what the Knicks do. And also, making moves as far as get rid of some of the dead weight. You got Fournier just heating up a seat. For what?
Exactly. And
You're not going to play
mhm.
him. Get rid of, find a way, figure it out to get rid of him.
And it could be a front and well, and it could be. It is definitely a front office thing. Why they're not playing him? Why they didn't sign quickly? They utilizing them for a different reason. But
For
right
bait.
now it's so early. You know.
And I think that Fournier also hurt himself when he made those comments on that podcast.
Oh yeah, for
And the
sure.
Knicks front office seen that and probably was like, okay, well, now we're really done with him. They was
Yeah,
already done, but now they're really done with him.
for
It's just
sure.
like with Harden when he made those comments. You're out of here, buddy. You
Yeah.
don't want no parts of you. You're done. Ship him off somewhere else. We're going to have to go our separate ways. But I wish the Knicks would get to that point finally at the end of this season and just say, just find a way to get rid of him. Somebody
Yeah.
must be willing to take him,
Mhm.
because I guarantee it's not
Yeah.
going to be hard for Quickly to go to another team.
No, not at
And
all.
it's not just the money. I get that Fournier's making what 18, 19 million, but Quickly is more of an asset to a team. Whereas Fournier, I don't know. Maybe Fournier, I don't, I'm not the one to say this, but maybe you need to go and play for the France team or something. Because if
Yeah. Well,
nobody's willing to pick you up in the NBA, then what's going on?
Well, they haven't really done anything as far as even shopping around. Because again, I think, you know, he could be part of a trade package. That's something that the front office is probably going to explore. And it's too soon. Nobody's, this is all just speculation and just, talking. I think he could be part of, trade package with Quickly, and probably one of our key guys, for that marquee player. But we'll see. It's
Yeah.
still early.
Well, we'll see what happens on Monday against the Clippers. Anything else on your end before we get out of here?
No, just disappointing, but I'm hopeful, for the Knicks. I'm optimistic, to say the least.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I am too. I just think it's more frustrating. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? It's like the talent in which you guys did last season. For me personally, I was expecting that to carry over into the start of this season.
for sure.
And maybe the Knicks could prove me wrong. And towards as we get deeper into the season, they could turn over and turn a new leaf
No,
and be a
yeah,
different squad and get better and come together. But I thought that that would have carried over and we would have seen, that chemistry from last year carry over into the start of this season.
yeah. Yeah, well, I thought so too. I mean, it didn't happen. There's no sense of urgency. So, again, it's early, and I'm optimistic, and they'll turn things around.
We'll
Like you
see.
said, it's frustrating because the fans, we expect more, we want more, and
Yeah.
we're riding with you, you know. So again, we'll see.
Well, that's it for me today. I mean, we will hopefully sometime this month we'll be on Steph's show. I know that's gonna be a monthly thing, so I'll reach out to her and see what's going on with that. I will be watching her episode that of her recap of the game that she did. I know she had
Oh
staff
yeah,
over today, so I'm gonna watch that later on and hear what they had to say about yesterday's game.
oh yeah, that's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, and that's it for me today. As always, everybody, thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, leave us a comment. What do you think the Knicks need to do to turn around, for these next upcoming games? I know it is a tough season, but let us know in the comments. Thank you for watching as always, and we'll see you guys on next episode.
Take, have a good day.